player goes unchecked.
Welcome back. Game 8 between yesterday and today, the final game in our Swiss bracket, Climps, and we have quite a spicy one. The teams are getting a little stressed because you need 5 wins to get into closed qualifiers tomorrow, and even then, that's not necessarily a guarantee you'll make it, and both the teams we have now are sitting at 4.
Yeah, after doing the math, I think all but 3 teams with 5 wins will make their way on in. And there's this crazy complex algorithm, RD, definitely a part of it. That's round differential, and that's highly important to guaranteeing a spot in closed qualifiers. A couple teams have already staked their home in there, Alyssar, Turbo, and Co. being 2 of those names. But we're going to take a look at the rosters here in this matchup. Harrison, EQ 3.0. I casted them earlier on the SFCL B stream, and Zach Z, Semi Duke Haiku. They are a very good roster. They were able to win it out against something Academy. I can't remember the exact name, but they were able to get the win, and well, they propelled themselves into a position to make close calls tomorrow.
Yeah, and you are correct. 3 teams with 5 win records will not make it. We'll see where we're going. Clubhouse and Cafe banned out first. Villa in Theme Park. Very slow maps out of here. Skyscraper, though, a little faster paced. Order in Oregon to follow. Oh, we're not playing Oregon.
So
I got
glad
scared
Oregon's
for a
gone.
sec.
I'm so
playing
glad.
Chalet. Excellent. Best of 1 Chalet between Didn't Ask and Neglecting. Of course, whoever wins this is just one step closer to making it in tomorrow. The loser will have to sit on the sidelines. Some of the other decider maps too are actually pretty exciting. For example, Achieve Esports versus HK Rebels. Only one of those teams is going to make it tomorrow because they play against each other. Average Joe's against Overture Gaming. This match right here, Byako Young Studs, Frauds Penn Island, I think another one. Leviathan's got a freebie over X13. Oh, HK Rebel Academy also got a freebie. So actually, if their freebies have already been accounted for, then it's actually a different number. Yeah, they're already counted as 4 and 4, as is Who Asked V2. So minus 2 teams. So actually, only 2 teams with a, I think, with a 5-win record now will not make it because of that cheeky standing stuff. There's also there's a way that the tiebreaker is calculated. I talked about it with Bob. It's actually not that complicated. It's literally just a sum formula.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Heading into the map, into Chalet. Nook is the first ban because of course it is. Nook, Chalet, nades, don't want it. Flores, another very good operator on this map, especially for taking out those shields in basement, the shield top blue, those shields in bar, wherever the hell they are. 2 very good attackers. Not going to see the light of day. Mira, also very useful on this map. Now, EQ are faced with a choice. Azami or Valkyrie?
I guess it's going to be Azami. I mean, we'll see what they take off in just a second here. It is the Azami. No longer will the defenders be able to reconstruct the map. And I am with you on that one, Harrison. Damn it, indeed, because I love watching teams and players use Azami to a creative standpoint. Like, I love watching Azami be played because there's so many different ways you can utilize her gadget. You can throw it anywhere on the map that you want to, on the ceiling, on the floor, and it just changes the way the game is played from a defensive and attacking standpoint. It makes difference in the round where sometimes Siege can get still and static where the same thing is happening over and over again. Well, that's not going to be the case this game.
That is one reason why I said damn. The other reason was I was just really excited for them to just ban the other operator, and then I could say, haha, you're wrong.
No.
But
no.
Ended up not being the case. Also, the standings just changed again, and now it says Leviathans is 5 and 3. Oh, I think they got a.
There was a forfeit win.
I think they got a forfeit win too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Ooh, how do they?
Whoever
I think that
Leviathans
means
they forfeit.
Does that mean that doesn't count towards the tie? Because their tiebreaker number is only 16. So I think no matter what happens, I don't think Leviathans can possibly make it because of the tiebreaker number. But Duke gonna start off strong. Early kill onto the one and only Trevmac. He'll set on the sidelines. The Zofia gonna be missed with 2 sets of nades on the board, 6 flashes. You still got plenty of utility, but it's always nice to have as much as you can.
Well, Duke's going to show the fragging potential of this star-studded lineup on EQ3. Lots of fragging power to go around between this roster. Some information to be gained now by Delta Force and the rest of this Didn't Ask attack as they continue to find out exactly how EQ3 are defending this site. You have semi-extended out here in bar, so that's going to create a little bit of a distraction. It is going to be a focus here for Didn't Ask, but semi will just become the focus of themselves as they take down Delta Force, and now both of the entry operators have fallen for Didn't Ask.
Delta Force pre-firing away, just kind of giving away his location over and over again to the Oryx space, the next to fall thanks to Duke, and all of a sudden, Swoof finds himself alone, and he is going to get the hell out of there. He'll take a impromptu tactical timeout, talk things over with his team. I discuss what the hell just happened, because they could barely even get into the building. Everyone from EQ is peeking every which way, and Swoof maybe he's going to be able to get some freebies, but definitely not going to win the round. Also, I'm not going to let you make a fool of yourself like yesterday, Clemps, where you call him Mikey Mike over again.
I know.
I confirmed a while ago. It's semi.
It's semi.
Not
yes,
semi.
I do know it's semi. That one I do know.
Oh, so
I made a post on Twitter after the game. I was like, I'm sorry,
Mikey. You just mispronounced his name on purpose.
Oh, did I say semi?
Oh, you said semi.
Oh,
yeah,
it's semi. Ah, I'm so sorry. I'm trolling just slightly.
That's okay. But I guess with that round being over in 30 seconds and not much post-round analysis to do, I can explain the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I explain how that works.
Yay.
So basically, it's what the hell is it called again? Some like Swiss German name. Oh, the median Buchholz, something like that. I don't know how to speak Swiss, or well, I not speak Swiss.
Buckles?
I have to assume that's German.
Yeah.
And it looks like it would be Buchholz.
I think it's Buckles or I can't remember.
A dumbass American accent. Shut up. Anyway, the way it works is now we actually have a tiebreaker system that weighs the worth of your opponents. So if you beat better opponents or you play better opponents, it's better for you. So the way it works is at the end of the day, we'll have, you'll have played 8 games, right? It'll take those 8 games and calculate, regardless of win or loss, it'll add up the number of wins or points, in this case, because it's just 1 for a win, 0 for a loss, the number of wins each of the opponents you've played has gotten. So you get that final sum, all 8 opponents, their wins added up, you subtract the highest number of wins and the lowest number of wins, and you get your median Buchholz tiebreaker number. So basically, if you're kind of stuck, if you start off well, it works better because logically you'll be against better opponents early on with better records. If you're starting off kind of at the bottom and you stay towards the bottom, it's really hard to come from behind because logically you'd be playing worse opponents. So basically it calculates, how good your opponent finishes and then takes that into account.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's why I said with Leviathans finishing with a 16, like everyone else is in the 20s. So that I think they're one of our 2 or 3 teams.
Especially a forfeit win at the very end. And
yeah, 'cause I don't think they count those.
That's going to be tough. Well, it really impacts those teams that you play at the first tournament because everyone at the very end is all playing the same amount of win teams. So, they're all going to get the points from them. But here we are, a minute and a half into the round as we've been talking about how the format will end up playing out in the tournament. Delta Force to kick off the round brings a pick on a Z, and the Wamai will no longer be available in the round. None more of those discs or pancakes, as some like to call it, will be distributed across the map, and instead it'll be a little bit easier to clear some of the utility that still might be available here for the defense.
Finally, an opening frag for Didn't Ask, so they start to move into this top floor, but Haiku just around the corner, looking to retake into Piano. The sledge comes in, gets the peek, downs him, but Haiku quick on the trigger. Duke a refrag of his own onto space, and now the man count has even.
Trebmack will continue to do some vertical destruction and clearing of the floorboards and office into the bomb site. Didn't ask much better progression here into the map. They've made it into the building. They've gotten a couple picks, and they've got the control they need to solidify themselves around. More breaching utility will go out onto the floor to create a harder defense in the side of the bomb site. Delta Force looking to flank from the lobby side, might be able to catch a defender off guard, and the flashbang will come through, forcing the smoke away. He's been team flashed and down from the player in the lobby. Zach with the flank through bar hallway. The diffuser is dropped. Trebmack has to find 2 more bodies after they find Duke. It's not going to happen. The defenders have spread themselves far and thin across the map, and it ends up being an EQ round.
That team flash was just tragic for Delta Force. You can kind of blame Swoof for the flash. Don't know if Didn't Ask would have won the round regardless, but certainly had a better chance before that happened. Delta Force seemed aware of the player flanking in. Shrevek dropping in was forced to find all 3 kills and could only get 1. You'd really have to question the sledge going for the peak on Piano as well. Trevmac was the one desperately trying to get some sort of vertical superiority, but without a sledge, that becomes much, much harder. Didn't Ask forfeit their first 2 attacks on Chalet with 2 members, Swoof and Space, still killless. And now we move on to the basement site where that roam becomes oh so important, and roaming is something EQ have done well so far.
Just been running around the map. They took this philosophy on the earlier match that I was able to watch them as well. They were very extended across the map. We were playing on Cafe and, or no, they were on Bank actually. They were on Bank actually, and they were all across the map. They were able to be very aggressive, and they didn't let the other team take the ground they wanted. They won a lot of their gunfights too. That's something that EQ is really good at doing. They're so amazing at winning their gunfights, making sure they secure the rounds for their team. Unfortunately, we had a player game crash, so we'll be stuck in a lull for a little bit, but so far through the first 2 rounds, Didn't Ask have struggled on their attack.
Yeah, and they're struggling to consistently win. They were struggling to win any gunfights in round number 1, and the second round, losing that stream. I read the message from Fermi. I was trying to talk. Losing that sledge up above early on, heavily punishing them, not being able to get enough vertical destruction down. Those 2 players were still pretty safe in their anchor spots. The team flash certainly didn't help, but big positioning issue in that second round. But while we wait for the rehost, or well, not, oh no, we do have to full rehost. So while we wait for the rehost, we can tune in to B-Stream as well, twitch.tv/SFCL, where Byako and Young Studs are playing, and that's another decider match. So that's super important as well.
Yeah, parts of the map to allow yourself to get that plant down.
Yeah, it's a very, very valid point that you're bringing up right there. And I mean, the timer, right, is an enemy in Siege. You have to take it into account. It's sort of the 6th defender. And I think it just got the better of Byako right there. So you've got to work on a way to get kind of that cautious approach, but with just a little bit more tempo. They're actually playing the exact opposite of last round, getting super aggressive as Super Sussy Soggy picks one off, but the Mossberg is waiting on the other side. Buck is also down here, but look at this. Goose jumping in through the gap in the wall. He's cut down from behind, though, and that leaves it at a 2-3, making a 3v1. The defenders not having the same run of luck they did last time. Technically, this is a 2v1 because one of those players is DBNO, but it will be Byako who finishes it off. So a lightning quick end to the exact opposite of our slow round that we saw in AVG.
What the hell just happened? I looked down for 1 second and all of a sudden, oh, Soggy's just already in solar. He's already gotten basically 2 kills. And now he's dead. And now it's all of a sudden a 3v1. What the hell just happened? Like, that was just such a fast round. I'm pretty sure it finished within the first minute. I'm almost positive it did. That is an impressive lightning pace, recognizing that you maybe slowed down a little too much after a very great start, but just countering that immediately and just saying, we're not wasting any time, we're going.
It's actually interesting, and I mean, I don't know if it's as complicated as this, but I would be tempted to wonder if the change in tempo is very much deliberate in the sense that you just played a very kind of slow, cautious game on AVG. Now all of a sudden you just come hard and fast, right? Like straight in on trophy statuary, and I don't think Young Studs expected that at all. Just the way that they were moving around the site, you saw the Frost just sort of walking around. I don't think they thought that they were going to see such a sort of rapid assault from this Byakko team. So a good bit of flexibility right there, honestly, to take their opponents off guard and, keeping it even here early in the match.
We're back.
Yay.
Rehost complete. Didn't ask, forfeiting their first 2 attacks. Did not go so well. The first round, they barely even got in the building. Second round, they got in, but losing their sledge early, poor positioning on the execute, meant another round loss. Now it's down to the basement where EQ have, I feel like a distinct advantage considering this site tends to live and die off the roam, and they've been roaming pretty well so far.
Yeah, they've ran free around the map, scurried their tracks pretty much everywhere. Didn't ask currently does not have an answer for the aggression from EQ. You got the likes of Semi and Duke, who have really ran around a lot, but the flexibility of the EQ3 roster to switch operators. You saw, I believe Duke was playing the Warden earlier, and well, they like the Warden. We saw it on Bank as well earlier on the B stream, and EQ3, well, they've looked strong so far here on their defenses, which on Chalet, not particularly normal. Usually you see a little bit more attacker-sided games on Chalet. The map is a little more favorable for that.
Wow.
But again, the aggression from Semi, and the amazing, like, eyesight just to see through the branches and even the tree, the foliage. Yeah, that's the word. The foliage around the map and doing a little bit of damage at least to space.
You put the eye in the wrong spot.
Oh, it's foliage, huh?
Yes, it is.
Oh no.
That's okay.
I can't say
Thermite charge.
I can't say
successfully successfully detonates from Didn't Ask. So they've got something going for them. They've got Snowmobile Garage open. They've largely been ignoring the roam, though, as Swoof now comes in from Trench downstairs, likely going to open up the red wall, I have to imagine, with, of course, Space chucking those ace charges to get those long sight lines into Wine. Now, this is a perfectly viable mode of attack if the dining hatch is closed. But it's not. It's very open. If they try and push into Wine Cellar, they're going to be in for a rude awakening from up above. Duke starts off the fragging with a C4 onto Trevmac, and it must have been a pretty nice toss, considering Trevmac's reaction. Haiku, now knowing that the breaches are starting to be open, though, will come in from above and man that hatch.
Didn't Ask has to have an answer for Haiku, who will be playing this amazing position on the hatch. It's, well, very important to clear out this dining room position, and a lot of the time, attacks will fall short if they manage, or if they fail to manage that. Minute left in the round, and Delta Force still on this main breach, trying to find a way to crack on into the bomb site with the rest of their team. None of their EMPs have been used, and they're actually just going to walk on inside. They'll be able to pick off the Wamai, and now the flood is on. Oh! Delta able to fight too as they take down Zach, and all of a sudden the attackers have control of the bomb site. They've been able to leverage the rest of the defense outside of Snowmobile. Semi, though, will get the frag onto Space, so it evens out as the post plan ensues. A nade comes through, and Haiku from the main stairs rips off Destroyer's head, but Swoof is on the retake and able to get that kill. Delta Force, the man who made the initial entry, able to find one, but not able to finish off Duke, and Duke will end up getting the last attacker and now begins to counter defuse.
3 kills for Duke, outdoing the 3 kills from Delta Force. I love the rotate, though, to the main breach. Clearly, EQ was not expecting it. They figure, okay, there's a guy upstairs we haven't cleared. We have to go in from Snowmobile. They catch 2 players off guard, fully open up the site, get that plant down, but it's the retake that does them in. Not enough didn't ask players winning their gunfights, especially Duke coming downstairs and Haiku getting his kill from main lobby. It seemed like every time didn't ask was able to kill one of those retaking defenders, there was an answer from EQ. Beautiful trades on that retake, and unfortunately for Didn't Ask, what I thought was their best adaptation maybe in the entirety of the qualifier so far, just doesn't work out.
EQ3, flawless defensive side half right now. Didn't Ask. They've really got to step it up if they want a chance to go to close qualifiers. Remember, this isn't even a qualifier for SCS. This is just to get to close qualifiers, and it's an important match for both of these teams. You want to get to close qualifiers, stake your name in there, and then go off tomorrow and really show how it's done to go and compete in SCS Season 7 against some of the best talent in North America. Well, the round begins, and again, more aggression here from the EQ3. You see Duke here on the Warden, someone who's typically an anchor with an aggressive spawn peak. Zach with a rotation outside of the snow mode or the big car garage, trying to get aggressive as well, and a double spawn peak effectively onto the north side of the map. The aggression from EQ3 continues to slow down Didn't Ask attack as well. They've ignored some of those spawn peaks, but yet again, it makes that attack an initial entry to the building slower, which is what Didn't Ask has struggled with right now, is getting inside, getting their executes, and getting that plant down.
The swap on a 0, bit interesting. Space not satisfied with the Nomad he was running previously. Trevmac as well onto Ying, trying to flash out Ivy, flashing out Piano as well, but it's not going to stop Duke from getting a kill. He's Ward and Haiku on the other side of the map. Another one watching that office doorway, looking for a second as he trades damage with Delta Force, but there's two coming back for the attack. Haiku and Duke now dead. Plant going down as Delta Force runs on in, but his coverage is now dead. Trevmac hits the floor thanks to Zach as the plant now resumed. Space has several angles to try and watch. He's worried about Piano, but he's got to watch the solar doorway as well. The plant now completed. Space a kill on the coverage. Another now for Space before he's traded off by Semi. Down to yet another 1v1 for Delta Force to clutch out. He'll tuck in the corner of bathroom as the pre-fire comes in from Semi. He knows he's coming, and Delta Force does not lose it. Didn't Ask, finally with their first round.
A swift attack, and Delta Force able to close it on out. The Yana made the entry in through the office, crossed through both bomb sites, and eventually got the diffuser down, finished off the last defender as well, eliminating Semi from being able to make up that clutch. See, I got it right that time. I got it right that time. Be proud. Be proud. Okay.
I am.
Well, it's a good first round for Didn't Ask, as it shuts down some of the momentum that EQ3 had, and it's important to gain some of these confidence rounds back here for Didn't Ask. The side swap still will go through, and there's plenty more Siege to play left in this game, but going down 3-0 initially on Chalet is frustrating and tough at that. They've got plenty of rounds to play with, though, and they're off to a good start, so maybe we'll see a little bit more out of Didn't Ask, but they've definitely got themselves on the right path now.
Gotta see more of it, though. This is Chalet attack. You cannot be going down 4-2. Didn't Ask, well, they don't have a lot of breathing room now. We'll go back to Dining, where they need Destroyer alive. They need all the utility usage, all that verticality they can get from their sledge. We saw how safe EQ was sitting down on the site and in trophy. Angles that should be covered by said vertical play if they had their sledge still up. Unfortunately, Ash just, 3 breaching charges, 2 breaching rounds. Simply not enough. Not a replacement. Twitch is being picked up by Trevmac this time, though, so if they do lose that sledge, now you have even less options.
It'll be definitely harder to open up some of that vertical pressure, so Destroyer really needs to value their life. They'll make some vertical play with their own gun. Typically, you'll see teams elect to bring the buck here and make vertical using that skeleton key shotgun. Not going to be the case here for Destroyer, as well, instead, they'll elect to use the L85 and do its own damage there. Solar take underway here from Swoof and the rest of the Didn't Ask, is, well, the first Ace Gadget will get nabbed by a 1 My Disc, and Sure, there will be more to follow. Eventually, that wall will get cracked on open, but Z is there to replenish any of those extra discs that may get burnt on out. Haiku also very aggressive here in top solar, maybe looking to get aggressive here onto the attack, but a spray through the bathroom window will force the Melusi to fall on back. Z still holding aggressive here in closet and will fall away as well. A smoke grenade comes across and a little bit of damage done here from Trev, but not enough to bring down any defenders just yet.
Z, in fact, will turn the tables on the attack. Delta Force now dead. Haiku next in the line of fire. Swoof searching for the kill through the wall. More of the defending teammates coming in to assist, maybe? I think that player's sitting by the piano doorway or tucked into office. Trevmac lit up to 1 HP. Z finally finished off by Swoof, so the man count is even, but the HP sits in the favor of the defense. Impact takes down Swoof, but Trevmac swings in to save the day, but it's still more HP off the attack. Trevmac and Swoop, 1 HP, spaced down to half, and they'll have to take a 3 versus 4 down to the bomb site against Semi, Duke, and Zach.
The troops have been sent upstairs, but now they've been recalled back to the bomb site. All but Semi have fallen back, and Zach and Duke looking to hold on to what little control remains as vertical play begins to be established. Duke will bring down space, so the man count evens back out. Trev on such low HP, picking aggressively on the solar stairs will bring Zach to 1 HP. Semi as well now falls down to 1 HP, and the defenders seem to be losing in this HP advantage battle. Duke does bring down Trev, and a second shot onto Swoof, whips out the shotgun. Will he be able to find 3? Destroyer falls as well. Duke, beautiful shotgun and SMG play in the bomb site, and the execute crumbles for Didn't Ask.
That was crazy. Duke, incredible play down on the site. Didn't Ask, simply taking too long with their top floor clear. At the end of the day, especially getting those defenders lit in the 3v3, it wasn't terrible. They just didn't have enough time. Those upstairs roamers doing a fantastic job. Sure, they got traded out and essentially went 1 for 1, but man, did they stay alive for a good while. Didn't Ask then again not finding a lot of success with that vertical play. Didn't shove a whole lot of people off the anchor positions, and were forced to walk right into Duke and SMG11 from like 12 feet away on 1 HP. Yeah, you're not winning that fight. Didn't Ask now find themselves in a 1-4 deficit. EQ have been hitting their shots. Duke 8-1 since the rehost. I mean, he's the only player on his team that's fully positive, and they're still leading 4-1.
Do they call DPS Duke? I don't know. He's doing a lot of damage. Definitely getting a lot of kills, and well, as many elims as he can rack on up. Doing a beautiful job there on the support role, and the SMG shotgun role is Duke is, well, they've definitely been attached to the scoreboard here. On the other end, Didn't Ask. I couldn't say it the same. Delta Force kind of being the hard carry right now, and begging for the rest of their team to step on up. Semi will begin to pop some of these drones and some of the information away from Didn't Ask as the round goes underway, and Didn't Ask need this round.
You said it. I mean, with the whole way EQ have been playing, you go down 5-1, it's practically GG's at this point. Delta Force really the only man that's been consistently able to find kills. We'll see EQ once again roaming all the way up to the top floor before Semi retreats. Delta Force leads off the round with a kill onto Haiku. Haiku tracking down that Melusi and now getting a spot on one of these other defenders. Probably Semi, I would imagine, but luckily he's down on the site, so rather inconsequential. Didn't Ask's next main target has to be Duke and Bar.
Well, Jackal Tracks will certainly help out Didn't Ask on the struggling roam clear, and he's been brought out probably later than he should have, as, I mean, abused the feet track and operator is what any team should do that struggles on the roam clear. Destroyer looking to get down the blue stairs here, maybe even find themselves in the lobby and begin to play some vertical pressure here onto the defense. You see Trev actually getting the head start here as they begin to soften up the floor panels in the fireplace lobby, and a little bit of lag going through maybe. Trev trying to, again, continue to do more and more damage. The main wall will be breached open by a hard breach gadget, and well, it's not a very large hole to get through, but a couple have been made, so there's at least more than one option to walk on in through the breach. Semi, though, on this flank from kitchen dining could be deadly, but Space is on these flank camps and should be aware of the positioning of the orcs. He will be aware, but Semi to win it out. The wall bag will end up bringing him down, so Destroyer gets the refrag, but the damage has been done.
And that's the most important part. That one player upstairs is now dead. No more chance for a flank, especially as Duke dies. The nade comes in, deals a whole hell of a lot of damage to Zach, and he doesn't have an angle on the planter behind the shelf. He knows where it is, but there's not a damn thing he can do about it. Swoof gets it off without a hitch, and Zach's 1 HP. Sure, Delta Force his die, but the man advantage still lies in the favor of this attack, especially with the breach open. I don't even know where Destroyer is. He's probably upstairs playing on those vertical holes, making this retake even harder. Z will clear out the position where the plant is, see that it's clear, but Zach dies, and so does Z. 2 kills at the end of the round for this Capitao, using the vertical play to his advantage after getting that plant, and didn't ask cover the half, 2-4.
They get a round they desperately needed. Didn't ask, absolutely needed that round, sending themselves into the side swap. But here is where the turntables. And yes, I said the turntables. But didn't ask now on the defense need to show maybe that this is a defender-sided Chalet game, and maybe they're not, as bad as they were on the attack as maybe we thought. They did get a couple rounds for themselves, so yay for you, but again, this is to make close qualifiers, Harrison, and EQ3, definitely a very good attacking roster. They love to be aggressive. They love to find themselves in the bomb site in a quick manner, and the high firepower is certainly going to show. You even see operators like Ying being brought out, and Didn't Ask doesn't have any direct counters. All you have is my pancakes to try to suck up that utility, those Candela flashbangs that will come on through, but that's it. No Warden in play, and that's something that EQ3 was playing heavily, and an operator that a lot of teams have really taken up in Siege lately, because flashbangs and other utility as such are used so often on executes, you can just completely ignore them as a Warden.
Warden that Didn't Ask are not bringing out. Luckily, there's no smokes or stuns from EQ to worry about. Well, they have stuns. There's no smokes or Ying for Didn't Ask to worry about. Arcade play from Destroyer. There are EMPs. Of course, Didn't Ask, or sorry, I keep mixing it up. EQ might have to use a drone, sacrifice some info to get the spot on that Electro Claw before they throw that EMP. Of course, the balance being that it doesn't have nearly as wide a radius as Thatcher does. You have to be rather precise, and those Electro Claws can be placed pretty much anywhere around that wall, even on a different floor if Destroyer is hiding it upstairs. Speaking of hiding, Trevmac all the way on the top floor. EQ may be interested in pushing him out. Zach is repelled outside Solar. Delta Force is supporting from those Solar stairs, but he's tagged up by Haiku watching Trophy. Now he's kind of going to leave Trevmac on an island.
It's a slow-studded attack right now here from EQ3. Haiku trying to get some shots through the wall, might be able to find the Oryx, and well, a little bit of a game of tag back and forth will be the bullets that exchange on through the wall, but not to find anyone. Delta Force has taken a little bit of damage, but in all reality, still plenty to soak up a couple more bullets to be flung their way. EQ3 not too sure how to deal with the Didn't Ask roam, as well, Didn't Ask has been very successful in wasting plenty of time. They've even got that big garage wall opened on up, and well, Duke will start it off kicking on to Swoof as they found themselves in the bomb site. Semi able to find one, does not find Space. Delta Force and Space with responses of their own, but Duke will get a response on to Delta Force. Space trades it back out, and we're even back out at a 2v2. Z taking a lot of damage here from Trevmac, but the response from Trev as they find both of the last attackers. A great retake by the roamer. The alibi able to find themselves back to site at just the right time, protect the home of the diffuser and those bombs, and a beautiful round by Didn't Ask.
A mistake from EQ never clearing out that roam at all. They had no picks going into the execute except for that one entry on one of the site players, and Didn't Ask collapsed back in on them. They were pressuring every major point down main stairs, down blue. They had the kills into the wine angle as well, and EQ could not win the fights. There were too many places to look at, too many places to cover, while their Osa was trying to go for that plant attempt. So a wonderful site retake from Didn't Ask brings them 1 round closer to a tie game. We're on the middle bomb site now, dining and kitchen, where Didn't Ask will once again roam up top, this time aided by a castle.
Well, the room upstairs, their basement defense worked out, but will the middle floor defense be sufficient enough to even out the round count? EQ3 losing their advantage. They were up 4-1, and Didn't Ask has pulled back 2 rounds in recent succession with each other. I don't know how to word that, but back-to-back rounds. They've gotten 2 back-to-back rounds. They're nearly able to tie it up. They could three-peat and get a triple. Find 3 rounds in a row, but
Didn't Ask successive.
Well, they still gotta get through this round here. They gotta hold on to the bomb sites, and EQ3 is looking to disrupt that momentum slowly being built up by Didn't Ask. They're tasked with clearing out library on over. The most default take here, different than how Didn't Ask was taking the kitchen dining site, is what Didn't Ask ended up going on the solar side across, and instead EQ3 electing for the more standard take through lobby and so on.
Consecutive, another option.
Ah, see there, that's what the word I was looking for. I just didn't find it.
Yeah, those are the 2 I usually go for.
Yeah.
Speaking of going for it, Trevmac with the Oryx running around the map catches the opening pick onto Z. The sledge now dead, an important set of nades, and the vertical destruction now gone. All you've got going for you now is the breaching charges from Duke. Maybe if he wants to risk using Selmas on that vertical as well. But now you've lost Haiku, and now you have 0 nades to speak of. A huge opening 2-piece from Didn't Ask to start the round. 1.5 minutes remaining, and EQ are no closer to clearing these top floor players.
At most, you can clear 1 piece of utility somewhere around the map with Zach's Gone 6. More than likely not, the Lion will have the Gone 6 in pocket. So you'll be able to clear off a castle barricade from long range and maybe expose one of the defenders. But right now, they're locked up tight on the upstairs space, looking through vertical holes pre-established in the round. Semi trying to find their way behind the rest of the Didn't Ask defenses. They found their way up into master bedroom. Will pick off on a Delta Force, but I'm not sure if they're aware of the other defenders that are lurking on the top floor. A flash will come through and will not land on the space. So still staying up here in the bathroom is space. Semi still trying to deal with this roamer, but again, lacking information of where they may be located. The rest of the EQ3 attack, though, has made a little bit of progress downstairs, and lobby space will take a little bit of damage, and actually Semi will win that fight out. So effectively, upstairs control established. Duke is able to find one and a destroyer, and all of a sudden, the round is completely spun on its head for EQ3. They're in the advantage. They find Trevmac and Swoof all alone. The castle, the UMP left to clutch up a 1v3. They'll ring out a couple shots, but it's Semi to win it out. A trade effectively in the end of the round, but somehow EQ3 pulled back a 3v5, ended up taking it.
Even if the castle player got that kill cleanly, I mean, you saw the trade was right there from the ace. Wonderful stuff from EQ, specifically the Ying, working his way in, getting the kill in master. Perfect use of the Candela to clear bathroom, forcing space to back off and try and land a pre-fire. With the DMR, that's not the easiest thing to do. And from there, they collapsed in on the site. The anchors didn't know what the hell to do, and EQ go up 5-3. Another match has concluded in the meantime. Above the Law taking a 7-2 victory over Turbo & Co. And you know what that means? You know what that means, Close?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Nothing. They both made it anyway.
Yay!
They're both 6-2 now. So, I think that means LSR definitively finish in first.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
they absolutely
means.
will. There's no other team that can contest them. So, congrats to LSR for being first overall in the seeding, and JJ. Man, he's
JJ's
running
gonna
it.
go. He's gonna go
Deputy,
flawless
man.
in Swiss. Bry said we're gonna go flawless in Swiss just to lose in round 1 of the BO3s. I think that'd be pretty funny.
That would be absolutely hilarious. And watching LSR do it again next week, be priceless.
JJ just doesn't make it into another season of SES. That'd be
Dude,
tragic.
that would be something. Seeding first in Swiss, and then not making out a closed. Oh no! Don't speak into
It'd be
their
pretty
existence.
funny.
I don't want to
It would
curse
keep
that.
the curse alive.
I don't want to curse that
Because he
I would
qualified
feel
for
bad.
SFCL, didn't he?
He did. He did.
Wait, did he qual or did he get picked up after the team qualled?
I'm pretty sure he qualified. I can't remember
Interesting.
honestly.
Well, I don't know. That just means we need the curse to come back. In the meantime, Delta Force with an opening pick onto Duke, a star performer for EQ so far, 11-4 now after the opening death. The Incandelas coming in. They force the Wamai off of Chimney. He backs off downstairs to the basement. Delta Force as well rotates in to team with his site players. Trebmac in space. Now there's 2 players underneath. As more Candelas being used. Do they not know they have full control? They certainly do now as they start to move into this top floor and confirm that no, there is nobody left playing on this library side.
Well, rare sight to show up in competitive play. Typically, you'll see bar games played more than master bedroom and office, but instead didn't ask electing to go here, and they feel a little bit more confident. The issue with this bomb site is that there's nowhere to really run away once you've fallen off. You have to hold on the top floor with your life. Space will end up losing their life as they try to get a flank here into bar, and, well, they did a little bit too much damage themselves and eventually end up falling to the line of Zach, and a 4-4 even man count as the round boils down. The wall still has yet to be opened on up. Zach does have those pocket EMP gadgets, so eventually, if the electric claws are spotted, you'll be able to find it, but there's such a small radius when you're using them that you have to be precise in where you throw those EMPs. If you miss, then the wall will stay closed. The Cade gadgets won't get de-electrified and EMP'd off, and
there
exactly
we go.
as we're talking right now, it goes away, and again,
Oh!
it misses, and the wall will stay
Where the hell is
closed. The Cade claws just proved to be deadly, and it's going to be the difference in this round. Haiku will try to open something, but now mass pandemonium happens. A gas grenade comes on through, but Semi will find their way on through Piano with the opening frag. Another gas grenade to go through. Missing shots is Semi, and Delta Force somehow wins out that fight. Trebmac able to kill down Haiku. Zach topping and Piano, but it doesn't happen. It didn't ask. Pull away around.
I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
What?
Especially watching Semi run around, miss the entire mag on the smoke, just for the smoke to run away. That was pretty funny.
I couldn't even explain.
But,
I was like,
I mean, yeah, that was a bit weird. But I can tell you where it stemmed from. The Cade Claw. Not
MVP.
spotted. It had to have been downstairs.
I think
right?
that you can throw them up high,
Or maybe,
and it
like,
was
in the
most likely the
rafters?
impossible. Yeah, so I think it was the impossible cage, which are really
maybe,
high,
yeah.
and they're hard to get. And you could throw one like right outside of the piano double door that is basically suicide for an attacker to shoot. Because they'll walk right on in through piano unless the door's smoked off or something. There's no way you get away with your life without, getting shot by a defender or at least a lot of damage. And maybe it just weren't spotted out, but EQ3, they took so long on their roam clear and to clear the map that they didn't have the time and the luxury to drone out where those electric claws would be. They didn't take into account that they had to find those gadgets, and the wall ended up staying closed, and we can chalk that round to the MVP being the electric claw from the Cade.
Yeah, huge stuff, I believe, from Destroyer. In the meantime, more matches have finished. Not Weaves, 7-2ing Mafia Esports and Mystic Academy, 7-3 over 75ers. Neither of those games matter. None of those teams are making it. Favela's beating Big Fans. Both teams both teams, okay, I should say both teams were at 5 points. So now, Favelas take their 6th game. They are confirmed for playoffs. Big Fans, still a pretty good chance as
More
Destroyer,
than likely.
Destroyer gets a very impressive shot all the way down the hallway.
Oh.
And is that in?
You
No,
got
it's
it.
not in time. They doubled up the EMP. Yeah, they doubled up the EMP to deny the electric, so smart play from EQ.
That's the usage of the Thatcher right there. EQ electing to bring a little bit bigger of an EMP after the last one didn't work out so well. The EMP from Thatcher will definitely get the coverage needed. Duke will find one on a Delta Force, so the man count evens back out at 4-4. 2 minutes left in the round, but again, didn't ask. Still holding strong on at the bomb site. The wall has been opened up, so EQ3 avoiding some of those qualms earlier on, and especially in that most recent round. Trev still looking to be aggressive, and a bait from the barricade will go through. A little bit of damage between Trev and Z, but nothing to come of it yet. The elbow wall, or boiler wall as it's known, will get opened up by Duke, and now the avenue into the bomb site has been opened up for EQ3. You'll expect to see a rapid entry on in, as they don't like to wait around any longer. Z misdroning the Malusi potentially, or just driving it right past them intentionally. Semi will lose out the gunfight, and Trevmac now has control of lobby.
He'll continue to pressure up here, hiding right next to the chimney. Again, EQ, they're not having a great basement attack. They tried to pressure those roamers, and it hasn't worked out so far. Duke is staring at the blue doorway like a hawk. Z looking to send a nade through, but caught by a Wamai disc, and the ace wades his way in, looking to get the plant down, looking for a kill to open up an opportunity first, but as Z falls, it's going to get a little bit harder. Duke at least finds a trade onto space. There's still a C4 in the pocket of Destroyer. Swoof out of gas, but Zach now dead. There's a trade from Duke once again. He's going to have to go huge with a 1v2 and only 20 seconds remaining. The plant now going down, halfway complete. Swoof nervous about trying to push it. He knows Duke is a powerhouse, but he misses with the SMG-11. Luckily, no harm, no foul. Trevmac is there to save him from an unfortunate whiff. And Delta Force and the Didn't Ask squad, they tie the game.
Defender-sided Chalet. Is that what we're seeing, Harrison?
I guess so.
A little bit. A little bit. Well, didn't ask. They tie it up. They bring it back. Somehow, it seemed like EQ3 was running away with the match, at least in the beginning half. And the side swapped, and now all of a sudden it's didn't ask game to win. At least it seems that way. Delta Force and Duke really are 1v1ing, and then right behind them is Semi and Trevmac. Both are kind of being that second fragger right now for the teams. The rest of the score pretty even across the board for the other players, but EQ3 now almost on the back foot, as Didn't Ask has managed to pile up a few rounds in a row, and well, they seem to be wanting to send themselves on into close qualifiers.
Speaking of sending themselves onto closed qualifiers, two more teams have just been eliminated. Overture Gaming, a 7-5 victory over Average Joe's, and on the other stream on SFCL, they were able to watch Young Studs 7-2 Byakko. So goodbye, Byakko. Goodbye, Average Joe's.
Damn.
Thank you for playing, but we will definitely not be seeing you tomorrow.
Aw. So sad.
No, it should have been better.
Yeah, should have won. Should have won your games. Oh my gosh, the IQ is just going to breach on in. Wait, no, Duke?
Nah, no way Duke hot
Do you think better of it? I think he was going to, and then got told no, and like last second aborted it by not
He was like,
throwing the
boys.
breach charge.
Boys, I gotta play.
Dude, it actually would have been the play too, because he would have been in Master, and I don't think any of the Didn't Ask defenders were going to be able to do anything about it. Like, I think that the Aruni was still setting up, and there's that castle barricade in between. Z will start it off, though, as they bring down Swoof. So the castle no longer in the board. They were the last alive defender the last time Kitchen Dining was defended, but that will no longer be the case. The anchor falls for Didn't Ask, and EQ3 with the opening pick this round.
Pretty good start to their dining attack. This was the round that they turned on its head thanks to some brilliant Ying play upstairs. We'll see how they do it now that they don't have that Ying in their back pocket. Duke starting to drone on in as he hears the fire come through for Delta Force. Spots out a couple of those angles, but at the end of the day, can't gather much info. But Delta Force gets a little too overzealous, and Duke finds the headshot. 5 versus 3 now, 5 versus 2 as Trevmac does a lot of damage but ultimately loses his fight to Z. Now it's Destroyer and Space. And a 2 versus 5. One upstairs, one downstairs. The Aruni still on the roam, making an angle over towards that piano doorway. Destroyer trying desperately to hold onto this site with that TCSG. The 2x site. He's got a lot of range with it, but it's not enough to kill Z. 3 kills on the round for the Zofia. Now Space, I almost said it twice. Now has to rotate back to the bomb site. Narrowly evades the shot from the main planter, Haiku, but in comes Duke up from the top ropes, finally making his presence known, and EQ flawlessly take map point.
An impressive round nonetheless from EQ, simply just working their picks. They slowly trickled off the didn't ask defenders, and eventually it led to a 5v1. They took their time with it too. They didn't do the undisciplined thing, which most teams tend to do, which is, all right, everyone run at the last guy. Right? They had the information. They knew exactly where he was, and well, they just took their time. They got the diffuser down, or at least began to get that process underway. And with the live information, Duke was able to hop over the banister, and being 15-5 at the time, now 16-5, well, the results are that.
Speaking of results, another
More?
team has just been eliminated.
Ooh.
Frauds with a 7-5 victory over Penn Island. Ice Cold has been gatekept once again.
Or Ice. I was chatting with him
Excellent
earlier.
work. Frauds. I don't know who's on that team. Wait, hold on.
I was chatting with him earlier, and he was like, oh, we're just getting used to each other. I was like, well, you better get used to each other real quick, because you guys are about to get elimed.
Frauds are... Oh, wait, they posted the match scoreline. Bembo, Valentine, Osu, Ivy, and Lunar. I know Ivy is Lauren. I don't know who any of those other people are. I guess Ice Cold, Mako, Locurio, Prodigy, and Scan.
It's kind of like a T3, T4 matchup, like a lot of those teams have kind of been in, you know, like
yeah.
some.
I know all the guys on.
I
know the guys on Ice Cold's team except for Mako, because Locurio and Prodigy have been around forever.
Yeah.
But everyone except Lauren on the other one is pretty unknown to me. So bye bye Ice Cold. Back to collegiate. Back to FPL with you.
Banished.
It's okay. Bro plays so much, he's probably gonna win the thing anyway. So
all
who's laughing now, right?
Might.
He's gonna grab that FPL money.
Oh, a heat sinker. We'll see. We'll bring down Space. It's a beautiful nade deep in the library. Will eliminate the shield as well as Space as they fall on down. Z getting the first pick, and Duke now will find the second onto the round. Didn't ask in the back end of the round. They're down 2 men already, and well, more could be the case. Thorn Gadget will be tripped, but not able to find anyone. And Duke, again, on this cutoff on piano has been so deadly. Simply just waiting for Didn't Ask to walk across his scope. He will tear off anyone's head that walks in that path. The main wall gets opened up now, and plenty of time for EQ to play with here on their attack, as they're going to continue to drone out these last few defenders and figure out exactly where they are, plan their execute, get that diffuser down, and more than likely take this round with a win.
Losing Delta Force is definitely not the man you wanted to lose first. Being the top fragger on your team, Destroyer going for a swing, loses it out to Duke. Trevmac finally gets a kill back for his team onto Semi. Swoof will expend the gas canister to keep players outside of Piano at bay, but he'll soon be dusted by Haiku. Trevmac, an instant refrag onto Zach, but is it enough? 3 men stand between him and overtime. Duke starts to swing in. He's low on HP, but it's enough for the plant to be completed, and Duke finds the angle. Trevmac turns his head just for a second, and what a pre-fire. Delta Force goes down, gate kept from another season of SCS, at least for now, by EQ, who might, they have a good chance to, but it's still a might, move on to tomorrow.
Duke went nuke.
He certainly did.
That's it. Duke, and mind you, we had a rehost. This is post-rehost with 19 kills. I mean,
yeah,
absolutely frying the lobby. Didn't ask, well, I think you're owned by Duke now, and, well, 7-5 win for EQ 3.0. More than likely, that will push them over the line for closed qualifiers, which will be happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. if you're on the Pacific Coast. And so far an awesome match, a really close one indeed. And well, that's the awesome and beautiful thing about a Swiss bracket is you'll see games get all the way down to the wire here. Didn't ask with a slow start, bringing it back up to even, but EQ3 just barely edging them out.
Yeah, and well done to EQ3. I mean, displaying what we've known about them since they were the original Eclectic in the past season of SCS, I think a year ago? Was it a year ago? Holy crap.
While. Definitely been a while.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right? Cause like Winter Champs, I think it was a year. Something like that. Well, we've always known Eclectic are they can frag with the best of them. They might not have the best coordination at times, but it seems like they've improved. And boy oh boy, are their guns hot. A couple more matches have finished since then. Homeland taking the win over Frijoles. Frijoles, they've got 5 wins already, and Homeland just 100% confirming their spot with EQ winning. Of course, Didn't Ask have been eliminated. And I believe we are waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4 more games.
Ooh.
And then we'll be done. Actually, with Able Esports, 8-7 win over LSR to make sure that JJ doesn't go undefeated.
Oh.
Sad for JJ, but hey, maybe that's good luck. Maybe that means he won't get first round. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. That'll do it for Klimps and I tonight. That's all 8 matches of Swiss on stream done for. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with best of 3s to find out just who makes the league.